So, but before I do that, I want to share 3 bullet points. And those of you that have gotten emails from Hank before, you know that he never writes in paragraphs. It's all bullet points, right? Like bullet points. So, keeping that spirit up, the first bullet point is that, you know, Hank is one of those, the last generation of people that came in with engineering degree, grew up through the plant, a ton of excellent Navy experience. So he was the one that could, you know, the wealth of, you know, hands-on experience. You know, there was a time that I would go upstairs and, you know, there was Gurry and Griffin and, you know, Kit Wiley, and I know I'm going to miss it, O'Keefe and a bunch of other people. And then, at some point, it was just Hank. Okay, so Hank, we're going to miss you for that, the hands-on experience that you brought to all of us. The second bullet point is that he has an innate ability to take a very complex problem and put it in really simple terms. So you ask a question this big, and he starts at the Big Bang Theory, you know, and a minute and a half later it all makes sense. All bullet point format. So thank you for that. We're going to miss that as well. And then the third point is that I think his manner of speech, I think it's very unique. His presence is very unique. And he writes just like he talks, like I mentioned before. And so in that spirit, I have 10 Hankisms, starting with number 10, going to number 1. And the first one is, and some of these are not necessarily humorous, but I think they just really express the, you know, spirit of Hank in the room. So listen to them in those terms. So number 10 is, you know, we are trying to fit 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. And he always says that, right? So that's, every time I hear that, I'll think of you, Hank. Number 9 is, he says, the only thing that's free in manufacturing is ignition sources. Those of you that learn process safety know exactly what that means. Hank, I'm going to miss you for saying that. Number 8 is a bleed valve in a nitrogen flow is a telltale. Okay, so I'm not going to explain what that means from a process safety point of view, but every time I hear that, Hank, I'll think of you. Number 7 is don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. He always says that. Let's just do something and not shoot for perfection. And I'll always remember you for that too. Number 6 is he calls Microsoft Office Communicator Hesquare. So every time I go on Communicator to see at his desk, I get tempted to send him something. No, he's going to call us Hesquare. So instead I call him. And of course, he says, and Gurry.
That's right.
Number 5 is his PDA palm device is a piece of paper in his wallet. And I say, do you have so-and-so's phone number? Of course, he pulls out the palm device. There it is. Look, there it is. There you go. There you go. It fits in his palm. So, of course, he said the other day that he's running out of room because there's too many papers. And so maybe that iPad might be helpful for that. You have to explain to him what that is. Number 4, he says, be careful what you ask for. You might get it. So, lots of wisdom in that. Number 3 is, you ask a question of 5 process safety engineers, you get 6 different answers. And always remember that as well. And number 2 is, quote unquote, hit safe. If you've been in a meeting with Hank, you're taking notes, working on a spreadsheet, all along the meeting, it says, hit safe. Hit safe. Because apparently you've missed and lost a lot of things. Hit safe. And finally, number 1, on top of the list, is, of course, it's been mentioned that Hank and Crystal just bought a car, and his words exactly. He said, it's a heck of a car. The book says it has Bluetooth. I don't know where the button is, or even what Bluetooth is, but the book says it has. Of course, he refers to it as his car, but I really think it's Crystal's car. So I have a license plate for that car. It says, no mortgage, no loss,
No worries.
So retire.
And of course, everyone knows that Hank has been a diehard fan of the Chicago Cubs, and I